Hey everyone, welcome to my channel, and today I will be reading a multi-character theater by With Love Ajax on Tumblr. So let's get into it. Kaeya. We all know Kaeya's skillful in social situations. It's easy for him to converse and get along with everyone. But how smooth and charming both his attitude and words are, it's not a surprise that numerous people in Mondstadt have a lot of questions for Kaeya. Cavalry Captain of Knights of Avonius. He checks up on people in the city regularly, engaging in casual conversations and friendly banters at times, and sometimes, on rare occasions, his words may seem a little bit flirty and bold. He never attempts to flirt with anyone, but you. Really? But with how smooth his tone and words are, it's sometimes hard to believe. Especially when those who are absolutely wept for him ask for his opinions on something, and he would give in to compliment them. You know he means no harm in it, and he's just being nice. But you couldn't help but feel a bit jealous. When you confront him about it, he's a little upset. And that's how your argument starts. He apologizes half-heartedly, so that you can go to bed. But your heart is still heavy and hard when you wake up the next day. Kaeya wakes up to the sound of you rustling in bed. Attempting to blink the sleep away from his heavy eyelids, he turns to you and manages a small smile.
Good morning, sweetheart.
He greets, voice rough and loud from just waking up. His sleep-dazed mind is thoroughly confused when all he receives back is a hum. No good morning kiss, no hug, no peck, absolutely nothing. At this, he sits up half awake, staring at you as you hop out of bed and head to the restroom. His mind and mouth move too slowly, and he was barely able to get a word out before you close the bathroom door behind you. With his head now in his hands, Kaeya sighs into his palm. The argument from last night was still fresh in his memories, and he understood why you were so upset with him. He makes it his mission the entire morning to get you to soften up and forgive him. From the moment you were washing up the dishes after breakfast, Kaeya's hands were already on your waist. You feel his soft lips connect with your cheek. As he pulls you away from the sink, both his hands encircle your waist and you can't tell what melts slightly in his arms.
Let me do the dishes this morning, alright? You go and relax, darling.
He smiles tenderly, carefully wiping off your soaked hands with a kitchen towel before planting a kiss on it.
I'll join you in a few minutes, alright?
His smile falters slightly when all he gets is on yet again. However, he does not let this cold demeanor of yours stop him from the day's mission. Any chance he gets, he takes. He's beside you all day. His hands almost always wrapped around your waist. If you're standing, he bends down, tuck his chin around your shoulder or plop it on your head. If you're sitting though, his cheek would be atop your hair or on your shoulder. His lips connect with anything he can reach. Ever the confident, Kaeya does not hesitate to plant butterfly kisses all over your face, your neck, and your jaw. At this point, the warmth and love in his affection was starting to melt your cold attitude, and it's during dinner when Kaeya's affection seems to die down a bit. The distant look in his eyes tells you he was deep in thought, barely even touching the food on his plate. For the first time that day, Kaeya heard you initiate a conversation with him. You were awfully touchy today. You say softly, eyes casted down, onto your nearly finished plate of food.
I guess it was simply my way of apologizing.
He replies, getting up from his chair. He makes his way over to you, sitting himself down on the chair beside you and taking your chin between his fingers. When he turns your head to face him, you could clearly see the guilt and sadness that swims in his eyes. Instead of coldly ignoring him like you've done throughout the day, you look up at him, signaling him to continue whatever he was doing.
Leon, darling, I know how I treated you last night was not exactly ideal. You were trying to explain how you felt to me, and I invalidated that. Furthermore, I gave you an apology that was lacking in many ways.
He explained sincerely.
What I'm trying to say, you're the only person I'd ever love, right? No one can compare to you.
You can't help but check out the heartfelt words that successfully pierced through your cold friend. He feels a relief flood every inch of him as I take a hold of his free hand. I forgive you, my love. He smiles as he delivers one last kiss to her lips before you both continue on with your lovely night. Child. Childe is an individual who constantly craves for battles on the blood a lot of time. Given that fact, most of her arguments were about him being reckless and over the top. Don't get him wrong. Childe loves you when you care for him, and most of the times, he would make that very clear. By giving you kisses and cuddles, at times though, on days when he starts to fight, he could sometimes misinterpret your gentle scolding and care. Ajax, you have to be more careful. Who knows what could have happened if he had gotten more injuries? And he'd retort with,
Do you not believe in my skills? My ability to win? Is that what this is?
he's a pretty prideful man, so it's safe to assume that you're going to argue for quite a while. Childe never wants to hurt you though, so at the end of the day, he'd put his pride aside and mutter a small apology to you. You go to sleep, still a bit upset about how his apology seemed so insincere and almost half-assed. When you ignore him the next morning, you better be in for a day of excessive cuddling, hugs, kisses, and the like. He will not stop until you know he's genuinely sorry and you forgive him. Childe's eyes flutter open, squinting at the beaming rays of sun that poured into the room. Instinctively, he throws an arm over to your side of the bed to search for your warmth. He's surprised to feel the cold though. Fixed sheets instead. Your figure clearly not in bed anymore. Puzzled by this, Childe wakes himself up and ventures out the bedroom in search for you. The smell of breakfast guiding him into the kitchen, where he sees you plating up some food.
Good morning, my love.
He greets casually, delivering a sweet peck to your cheek. He's stunned to say the least when you simply nod at his greeting and gesture towards the food.
Breakfast is ready.
You walk over to your seat on the dining table before plopping down. And proceeding to eat of what you did was totally normal. Hesitantly, Childe takes a seat opposite you, gazing up at you with a face which spelled nothing but confusion.
So, how was your sleep?
He asks in a measly attempt to alleviate the awkward tension.
You're already up before me, which is so rare.
It is good. Woke up early to make breakfast, comes your short response. And now you can see that something is definitely wrong. He's not stupid. Guilt slightly gnawing at him as the argument from the previous night resurfaces in his memory. He knows he said sorry, but he wonders if even that upsets you. Immediately, he makes his way into the kitchen. He puts his plate into the sink as one of his arms grabs your waist to turn you towards him. He does not get a chance to get a word out before you say, Childe, I am trying to wash the dishes. Please. Defeated, he sighs softly before picking your cheek and heading onto the couch to wait for you. Throughout the day at home, his affection does not stop. You find that his hands are always on you, whether that be on your thigh as you watch a movie, on your hand as you try to read something, or on your hips as you prepare dinner later on. His lips also could not seem to keep away from you. The entire day was filled with sheepish grins and sweet kisses. Even if you are persistently ignoring him, Childe still made his best efforts to talk to you and show you all his love. Admittedly, it was starting to get to you. And finally, at the end of the day, when you're both already in bed, Childe's hand gently lands on your shoulder. Knowing you would not respond, he tugs onto it to turn to face him. There is an apologetic look on his face, and his eyes no longer sparkle with the hope and happiness you saw that day. The next words that escape his startled lips melt your cold resolve completely.
Ryan, I know what I did and said last night was stupid. I know I apologized, but I guess it didn't sound genuine, huh?
He chuckled before continuing.
I'm sorry, Ryan. I really am. I didn't mean to offend or hurt you. I was just drained and exhausted. I know that's not an excuse, but can you forgive me? Please?
You can't help but sigh. You think you haven't forgiven him yet, until you lean in and plant a quick kiss to his lips. Fine then, I forgive you, you say gently, covering his face in your hands, unable to contain his relief and happiness. He nuzzles his cheek into your hand before kissing it.
Guess I'm too much of an amazing boyfriend to resist, huh?
Say something like that again, and I'm making you sleep on the couch.